Hey guys, welcome back. Joe Youngblood here with Treasure Farms. Hope everyone's doing well. We are out here almost mid-July now. Our buckwheat has been in for just over a month. It does not look anything super spectacular, but if you go back and you look at our videos from last year when we did not do that extra spraying of 2,4-D to get these gly-resistant weeds, it looked much worse. So to see all these, buckwheat heads, I'm pretty happy with that. It is much better than last year, so we will take that. What worries me a little as you get a little bit closer is you can start to see, a lot of the mare's tail and the gly-resistant weeds still coming back. The buckwheat starts to look a little bit better as we get closer here. And really, a lot of this buckwheat hasn't grown super well for being just over a month. It is taller in some areas, which doesn't look bad, but in a lot of the lower areas, those other weeds are starting to come back through. So here's what's really gonna make the difference is when we come back and we start to get closer to August, and I'm really shooting for more of a mid-August planting, so this has technically at least a whole other month. However, if a lot of these gly-resistant weeds are still poking through, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna try and crush this buckwheat, and it's just gonna be very hard. A lot of the buckwheat, some will crush over, but a lot of these gly-resistant weeds will be kind of pushing it up and holding it up. It doesn't, have that break that the stocky buckwheat has in its stem. So worst case, and I'm always telling people not to stress out, but the worst case is I will have to come in here with gly and 2,4-D, kill everything, still get some thatch and organic matter from this dead buckwheat and from the other dead weeds. However, we have to use the 2,4-D to kill the gly-resistant weeds, but we also have to wait the 2 weeks because of the residual of the 2,4-D. So we're gonna make sure we don't overspray too much, but we do spray enough to kill these weeds, and then we need a little buffer time, okay, for that residual to wear off and plant our fall food. That also means we may not have as much thatch and stuff as this dies. It's gonna be more bare soil instead of that nice and kind of moist buckwheat that we hope to lay over the seed in the normal no-till system and that fall food to come up. So all in all, I am happy with how the buckwheat is coming up. I see a lot more, and it's going to improve our soil. I think most of you that have been following know I haven't really put the max amount of lime down or the needed amount that I should. So that is something that I hope to get this summer, maybe in between this buckwheat and the fall food. I really would like to, crimp or cultipack this buckwheat in the normal no-till way. It's just these glyphosate residues. For myself and for those of you that are reclaiming old farm field, that's where most of these weed seeds have trouble. So you don't see it typically in a lot of the woods areas, very few, but I just got back from a client trip throughout Michigan. I literally haven't been home yet. I swung in the farm. I'm actually wearing my Crocs right now, and I'm looking forward to going home, relaxing, seeing the wife. But I really wanted to get out here, check things out. I had one client also that, a ton of ag or half the property was an ag, and reclaiming some of that, adding more deer habitat is going to be so beneficial while still leaving an adequate amount of food. However, a lot of these fields have just been farmed for a very long time. And so some of these weeds are very resistant, and there are a couple herbicides, and I am getting some other recommendations from my farmer, one of the local guys that helps me just with intricate things like that. But I want to test it out before I bring you guys other stuff. So we're going to see how this grows. Again, we got about another month. If I think in 3 or so weeks as we get closer to the end of August that it is not pushing out some of these other weeds very well, I unfortunately may need to come back and use the 2,4-D again for a third time this summer, just kill it all and plant the fall food. If that is the case for some of these larger seeds, I probably then will, scratch it up just a very little bit. I did put some new nails in that drag that I have, or scratcher tool, and they're a little bit fatter. They shouldn't bend as much, but they're brand new and they're a little shorter. So, the tensile strength, it should really, keep them pretty structured as far as the nails that are dragging, bending over. So I will probably do that for some of those bigger seeds to kind of get them into the ground, especially if we have no thatch and stuff. It's just bare dirt. But again, I'll keep you guys in with the process and how things go. Again, glad things are looking fairly decent. We have a couple other, more bare spots where it's just too sandy and we need a lot of lime. But other than that, I'm trimming up a couple trail cameras, just some stuff that's setting off the cameras, getting rid of some of those so I can get good pictures. We can kind of enjoy the last bit of summer. We're also gonna be coming back here into August here soon, finishing up any shooting lanes and also doing the rest of our, bedding cutting. It may not be the rest, but a lot more. I want to add some cutting to these fingers, drop some trees into the field, let more sun in, let that growth in the little fingers and other woods come through, and also kind of just expand the woods and the depth of cover that way. That's over on that far side. And then also just in the woods, add some more of the pure bedding areas, dropping trees, felling them I just swallowed a bug. Felling them back there in the woods. So we're gonna get past that oak wilt. Yuck. Oof, protein. We're gonna get past that oak wilt season, do a little bit more cutting back there. It won't hurt things. We'll have all of September to let things sit and get into October for the hunting season. So I know this is a quick video, guys. I will be out here to do more. I will bring that to you. I will keep you up on the food plots. I had a great time meeting many of you over my last trip throughout Michigan. Some awesome people. It was a lot of fun. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you here shortly.